Imagine a world where advanced cities, farms, and writing systems existed tens of thousands of years ago, only to vanish without a trace. That's the claim of some popular theories about a lost civilization before the end of the last ice age. But does the evidence support it? Today, we're going to walk through the strongest scientific arguments against any advanced agricultural, literate farming societies existing before around 12,000 years ago. We'll start with the single most decisive piece of evidence and work our way through the data until the picture is crystal clear. Let's begin with the strongest evidence of all, the total absence of the durable, unmistakable signatures that any advanced agrarian civilization would inevitably leave behind. If complex societies with farming surpluses, cities, and elites existed 12,000 years ago, we should find widespread smelted metals, synthetic glassware, organized writing systems, large concentrated cemeteries, and massive farming infrastructure, irrigation canals, granaries, plows, storage pits, all filled with domesticated crop residues. We find none of these. Glassware, the earliest man-made glass beads and vessels appear only around 3,500 to 2,500 BCE in Mesopotamia and Egypt, millennia after farming began. Metallurgy, true copper smelting starts around 5,500 BCE. No slag, furnaces, mines, or metal artifacts exist earlier. Writing, the first administrative scripts emerge around 3,400 BCE. Concentrated burial grounds, true cemeteries with dozens or hundreds of burials in dedicated areas, only appear around 15,000 to 11,500 years ago in the Natufian culture, right at the Pleistocene-Holocene boundary, and they remain small until farming villages explode. Pestles and mortars exist, but only the simple handheld or bedrock versions, used by mobile hunter-gatherers to process wild plants from around 35,000 years ago onwards. No mass-produced standardized agricultural versions. These aren't gaps. These are exactly the durable materials that survive for tens of thousands of years. Stone tools, bone, charcoal, and footprints from simple foragers do survive. An advanced civilization would have generated far more debris, yet the global record is completely silent until around 12,000 years ago. Next, the complete absence of domesticated plants and animals on any scale that could support surplus economies. Large-scale agriculture requires clear genetic and morphological changes, bigger seeds, non-shattering grains, docile animals. The earliest undisputed domestication of founder crops and animals appears only in the Levant around 10,500 to 9,500 BCE. Earlier sites like Ohalo II, 23,000 years ago, show only small-scale wild plant use, no global evidence of earlier widespread domesticated species, irrigation systems, terracing, or storage facilities. The archaeological record shows only ephemeral hunter-gatherer camps, nothing that could sustain cities or elites. Even if people had tried, the environment wouldn't allow it. Atmospheric CO2 levels during the Pleistocene were stuck at 180 to 200 parts per million, far too low for high productivity sea-free crops like wheat and barley. Plant physiology experiments and fossil leaf studies confirm that at those levels, photosynthesis and seed yields drop by 30 to 60% or more. Only after the Younger Dryas ended around 11,700 years ago did CO2 rise to 260 to 280 parts per million, removing the carbon starvation barrier. This matches exactly when farming exploded worldwide. Low CO2 combined with extreme climate swings made stable surplus farming impossible before then. Speaking of climate, the last glacial period was chaotic. Rapid temperature jumps of 10 to 15 degrees centigrade in decades, low sea levels, unstable vegetation. Reliable farming needs the stable Holocene conditions we enjoy today. Genetic and archaeobotanical data shows domestication processes only accelerated once ecosystems stabilized after 12,000 years ago. Now the genetic smoking gun. A groundbreaking 2026 study by David Reich's team at Harvard, analyzing over 15,000 ancient West Eurasian genomes, revealed hundreds of genetic variants under strong directional selection, starting right after the dawn of agriculture. Traits for immunity, metabolism, skin pigmentation, and many more all evolved rapidly in response to new diets, denser populations, and proximity to animals. Crucially, this acceleration is absent before 10,000 years ago, and entirely missing in long-term hunter-gatherer groups like Australian Aboriginals and African Khoisan foragers, people who never adopted large-scale farming until recent centuries. Their genomes show deep continuity with no comparable post-10,000 year shifts. This is direct evidence of gene-culture coevolution triggered by complex agrarian societies, not something that happened earlier. The archaeological record worldwide is seamless. Paleolithic tools and campsites transition gradually into Neolithic villages. No gaps, no buried layers of cities, roads, or trash bins from a lost high-tech society. Even catastrophic events leave detectable markers: ash, impacts, pollen spikes, and genetic bottlenecks. None exist here. Intensive farming leaves unmistakable traces: pollen spikes from domesticated crops, soil erosion from tillage, fertilizer residues, irrigation salinity. Global lake sediments, ice cores, and soil profiles show these only after the Holocene. No pre-12,000 year anomalies. Some voices claim a comet impact 12,900 years ago wiped out an earlier civilization. But proposed markers, nanodiamonds, iridium, are inconsistently dated and not replicated globally. Animal extinctions around the same time show links to regional climate and human hunting patterns. Even if it happened, it wouldn't erase every trace of an advanced society while leaving Paleolithic tools intact. Stone tools, pottery, bone, and charcoal typically survive for well over 20,000 years. Advanced societies would produce even more durable debris: metals, baked bricks, quarries, and glassware. While post-glacial sea level rise submerged some coasts, inland records are pristine worldwide. Erosion and glaciation don't selectively destroy complex societies while sparing simple ones. Finally, agriculture and complexity arose independently in multiple regions: the Near East, East Asia, Mesoamerica, but only after the Holocene warming. Clear developmental sequences from wild harvesting to full domestication fit environmental enabling conditions around 12,000 to 10,000 years ago. No earlier precursors. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Here we have positive, consistent data from genetics, archaeology, paleoclimatology, and material science, collectively showing gradual development from hunter-gatherers after 12,000 years ago, with no lost advanced civilization. Just the remarkable story of how we actually built the modern world. What do you think? Drop your questions below and subscribe for more evidence-based deep dives into human prehistory. Thank you for listening.